All right, so let me show you quite briefly. What is the difference between a relative reference in Excel? I see a whole lot of people have challenges with this. In the first place, what do you mean by a reference? A reference is, I mean, referring to something you are making, maybe an argument or a statement or something. In Excel, we have things we also call reference. I can be in one cell and be referring to another cell somewhere. So this is a cell. So let me say, color that particular cell yellow. I can refer to another cell somewhere here, and let's say the color green in that order. So in this case, I'm just trying to increase the font size. So come to think of it, now if I have yellow here, green here, I can stand at the yellow place and refer. So in that case, that's what we call a reference. You are somewhere and you are referring to something else. So for instance, if I come to the yellow cell and then I click the equal to, I said that particular cell is equal to this cell. So what I'm simply saying is that whatever that in cell green appear in the yellow. Now I'm going to tap enter. You won't find anything. It will be zero. When I come to the green cell and I type, let's say, enter, you will see that 80 will also appear in the other cell because I have referred them, saying that whatever that is here is over there. Now, the second example, let's come to this particular cell again, and then I will go to, I'll give it another, say, I'm giving it brown color for now, and then I'll come to this point and give it a different color, let's say blue this time around, and then in that order. So if I have any listed over there, I can say, let's say 5. Then if I to this place to refer to a number and make any calculation, let's say I can say equal to 2, 2 times, then I'll bring the multiplication sign, and then maybe I want to say 2 times 5. I want to say maybe value is subject to changes. So I'll simply come and just say, click on this particular that is here. That cell will continue. That number will continuously be multiplied by 2, and that is it. So now, if I tap enter, it will give me 10. But if I come to that particular blue cell and I change the number there to 10 and tap enter, you see that it will automatically update whatever reference, cell reference. Referencing, there is something you need to pay attention to. Excel understands that if you are standing at, let's say, this particular column or this particular cell, the cell address is D52, sorry, 51. As you can see. Now, Excel, if this is where I was, and I was referring to this particular A to D47, for instance, if I come to the point cell, multiply 47, want to when they have around, You see, so that it will also move over there. So if I one step, if I move 2 steps, it will also move 2 steps. Now, if I drag down, that cell 2 must also drag down. For instance, let me come down here, remove the field, and then let's say that I moved one more, so now be J48. Excel will also say that this one has to also move here, and then that will also give me the same thing. You see? So when I move this, then one two must also move the same way because they are relative. Then in that order. So if I am moving upwards, so for instance, if I move here to be 80, if I'm here and then I also move upwards to, I mean, the reference will just be there. So when you are making cell references, know how the movement works. Now, having understood that, now let's look at something again. Let's say I have dates and I want to extract, or I have something and I want to refer to. So if I come here and let's say I have today's date, so I'm just going to type the function today to equal to today. And then because I don't want to give it an argument, I will just leave it open. And then to give me today's date. Today is 29th, right? Separate this particular date into days, month, and year. So if I come here and I want to separate only the days, I'll simply say equal to again and bring the function that does that. The function that does separating days is called days. Because I am going to refer to a cell that contains the date or that contains the value that I want to separate, you go and click on that cell. So Excel knows that that particular cell contains the date you want to separate, the days, the month, and the year. And then you have already used the function. So you now close it and tap enter. It should be able to give you, okay. So it should be able to give you, I don't know why, you have entered too few arguments. So what else should I have entered? I'm coming, I don't know what is there. Day, yeah. And then I come to this point and then close it up. And so it should give me today, the date is 29. So the day is 29. Then if I come to the next point and I said, I want to extract the month. So I'll give the formula, month, and I'll simply refer to that particular contains the date. So after you have written the functions with equal sign, then you come and click on the cell that contains the information. Close it to extract only the month. And then if I come to year to equal to, then you bring the year function. Always use tab to complete it. Now to click on this. It will simply information in that particular cell. Close it up and then return. It will extract only the year for you. And this is how we do it. So imagine that date here. Let's say I was having another date over there. Maybe that was yesterday's date. So yesterday was actually 28th. So that would have been 6, 28, and now if I come here and like I explained the references, knows that when I was at cell E, I moved to E54, I must definitely refer to E54. Then in that order. That is why we have to call the flat fill or the auto fill. So if I come to this point and my plus sign change to that small cross, it is telling me that whatever function I put in repeated, but it will also refer to the respective cell as well. So if I count the date as 28, because this time around, the cell here, which is E54, is now referring to this cell here, which is also D54, and no longer D3. This is what we call relative reference. So you refer to this, it is you are relating to it. The relative is that one step, the other one two must also move one step. If you move backwards, the other one two must also move backwards. That's for the relative reference. We also have something we call absolute reference. Absolute reference is when you lock the cell and nothing changes. So whether you are moving backwards, you are moving towards wherever you are. If I have, let's say, uh, a number here, and then okay, I come to this point, and then I put 12, maybe then 36, 50, and then 14. Now, if I calculate the total, I'm just going to say, then I just drag this up to this point, close it, and give me, let's say, let me give the color red and make it bold. Now, that will be 252. That's my total. Now, if I want to cut the percentage of this particular cell, take total, then it's going to be equal to, all right, this particular cell here, you see, divided by the total times 100. And then that should give me 22.22%. All right. Now, if it is 22.22%, you will be asking yourself, can I drag this? Can I drag and come here? Error. What does it mean? What's the cell that we were dealing with? The divisor or what was our divisor? It was a particular cell, which was D67. And D67, we calculate 1. So now if we move D62, automatically Excel will assume that we were referring, which was the divisor, must also move one step, move from D67 to now D68. And that's why you have the diff error. And that's why you're not able to do that. So in order to make sure that the total remain the same, whilst this other one side, we fix the total. And that's what we call absolute reference. You are referring changing. So in that case, we would have come here, and where is the divisor? It's actually D67. So come to in front of the alpha, or in front of the letter, which is D, or at the back of the letter, anywhere at all. Press your finger and go and press F4. In that case, you have locked the cell up. The cell it is no longer moving. It will just remain wherever it is. So I can move to refer to it, move another cell, and then it will still refer to it so that it will no longer be moving. That's what we call absolute reference. You are referring to just that is not supposed to be relatively moving, and then in that order. So if I do it, you notice that the formula is not having $sign in front and then at the back of the letter, not the number. You see the letter, and then when I tap that, it is still written, but again, you see that it will calculate everything. This is the difference between absolute reference and relative reference. I think it's very important to how these things move. When you feel it will move rightwards, if I'm moving leftward, to move leftward, that is in relative reference. That is when you are consistently referring to one single cell for the rest of the operations. The rest of the cells are changing, one cell is not changing. So the cell that is not changing, you keep it fixed by making sure that that particular cell reference, you put $sign in front and then at the back alphabet. And remember, cells are to by using the alphabet and then the row number. The alphabet is so we have column D, and then we have, so that's why we have a cell reference or a cell address or cell identity as alphabet whatsoever. So where I have now, it is 67. So to lock it up, make sure you have in the cell formula uh,